There's a reason why they say growing like weeds. My word, look at this. Hello and welcome back to Never Blower Homestead. My name is Raul and it's August, which means it's time for another garden tour. Also, I will be announcing the winner to my competition at the end of the video, so hang tight. Well, the melons are certainly enjoying the monsoons. Look how much this has grown. Wow. The squash at the front here, the two squash that did survive, are doing okay. I'm not sure what's up with this one. The yellowing leaves. But that one's definitely doing fine. The bees are enjoying this, especially when they come out in force after the normal. Let's have a quick look. Melons up here. Here it is, a little one here. And then I'll show you the big one over there just now. But these are the cantaloupe over here, and they are doing really well. So, in South Africa we call them spun speck, which actually stands for, believe it or not, stands for Spanish bacon. There are other female flowers, so you might be getting a few of them. There's the other one. Flowers. So, a couple melons there, and then over here is my big watermelons. This one over here, which has got a bit of a split in it. If you look down here at the bottom, getting these leaves out of the way. If you can see just over here, there's a split. If anyone has any clues or advice to give me on how to handle this, or how to prevent it from happening with like that one over there, I would love to know. Please tell me. What I'm doing at the moment is I'm just trying to keep them kind of covered from the sun. I'm wondering if the split is not just from the sun. But the other watermelon is down here, and it's quite the giant. And then we've got some others like dotted around, but none of them are as big as those ones. So I'm hoping that a few more will like develop like those big ones. But I've had a couple that have looked like they were pollinated, looked like they were going somewhere, and then basically just rotted from where they were sitting on the ground. And I don't know if that's just because they're rotting with the water, or what the deal is. There we go. Another. There's another one down there. You can see it. So there are quite a few that are growing. But like I said, a couple of them that I saw have actually just kind of rotted away. And yeah, I'm just wondering if it's maybe just because they're on the ground and then the water just kind of stands a little bit from the irrigation, because you can see this one in particular is right here and that sprinkler's over there. So I'm just wondering if They may be rotting because they're on the ground. Should I try lifting them up? Not sure. If you have any ideas, please let me know. I would love to. I would love to have more melons than what I seem to be getting. More watermelons than I seem to be getting. Let's move on to the next part. Back in the garden, and I still haven't gotten all the grass cleared away. Just had so many other things that were on the go. The driveway and the gravel, and my outdoor office was supposed to be delivered yesterday, but it wasn't. So it's just, there's been a lot of things on the go. But we did pick a whole bunch of mealies. So these I actually need to cut down because they are they're all done now. My tomatoes, my huge tomato is still growing. I actually have other tomatoes here. As you can see, these are suckers that I planted, and they're all doing. Most of them are doing relatively well. So we'll see. I need to. Those potatoes at the back there are really encroaching a bit. I need to move them away, and they did get blown over this way by the storm last night. But yeah, I need to move them out of the way. My beans are looking, well, I think they're getting eaten by flea beetles or something. They're getting eaten. The beans themselves are kind of coming along. Maybe I need to put some more fertilizer. This one is growing nicely though. Really enjoying it. No beans on it though. Very different. I've seen sunflower. Anyway, across to the peas. The peas are still doing fantastically. As you can see here at the front, the Lincoln peas are pretty much done, but these blue shelling peas are going crazy. They are still doing really well. I actually, thinking about these peas, I'm not going to do the Lincoln peas again next year. They started off well, but they petered out really quickly. These guys, these blue shelling peas, you can see they've got this lovely purple case. The peas themselves are still green, but they're much sweeter. I found they're much sweeter than the Lincoln peas, and just overall much better, much higher yields. Better tasting, just so much better. And then at the back here, I've got some sugar snack peas, rather snow peas. I should probably harvest these. But yeah, so the peas are still doing really well. We harvested a bunch of carrots the other day for some food. All the biggest ones. I've left the smaller ones to see if they'll get any bigger. That did actually happen. I harvested a couple big ones, which we had for dinner one evening, and then the other ones that were left did grow bigger. So these ones are still looking like they're growing bigger. So I'm hopeful for that. Over here is my red sweet corn, my red mealies. They did not do as well as I was hoping. You can also see they got a bit blown around by the storm there. They didn't do as well. Now I think one of the things is, you see, mealies are, you can see the tassels at the top. They are wind pollinated, so the wind shakes them, and then the pollen drops from there down onto the silks of the ears of corn. And I think the problem was that while I've got quite a few here, I actually, like I had over there I have 2 beds, and they did much better than the red corn. So I think I need to actually expand the red corn. If I want to get a decent crop of corn, then I really need to just have a lot planted. So next year, definitely going to be more along the lines of having 2 beds. Or I'm thinking of expanding my garden out elsewhere, so I can have some areas like where I can do things like corn, things like more permanent stuff like asparagus, things like that. So potatoes. So I'm not doing the potato. I did the potatoes in the bag this year because I had already ordered the potatoes at the beginning of the year, the end of last year, but I hadn't gotten any beds or anything ready for them. So I think what I'm going to do is, the grow bags seem quite nice, but I'm concerned that they are not actually big enough. So what I'm going to do next year is I'm going to have depends on how these ones turn out. So they're not finished growing yet. Once they actually start shriveling up and dying, then I will empty the bags and I'll see what my potato yield looks like within. And then next year I think I'm probably going to do in-ground or something like that. Kind of in-ground root stock mix with something to that potatoes. I'm really happy though. I mean, you can see that there's a lot of growth here with the potatoes. I'm really happy with that. But yeah, I need to, again, this is the first year I've done potatoes. I need to figure it out. They obviously do pretty well here, but I also think that I need to do them more as an autumn crop rather than a summer crop, because I believe they don't set tubers unless the temperatures are below a certain point. I think unless the temperatures are in the 80s or something, and with temperatures, you know, with our temperatures going up, mostly being in the high 90s to the low 100s, you know, so we're talking in Celsius terms, we're talking 35, 36, around there, sort of mid to high 30s, and I think it's just too hot for these potatoes. So we'll see. Anyway, this bed is doing well. I meant to transplant this one. I really do need to. It's growing quite big. But my onions are doing pretty well. You can see here I've got some pretty big onions. My collard, we harvested a bunch of it like literally last week, and there's a whole bunch more. This stuff grows like seriously. Like I think it's only the real wheat eat this, and you need a lot of space for it. I must say, you need a lot of space. Those leaves, as you can see, they come out quite far. So it's been good for the cabbage back there because it's meant that the cabbage has had a lot of shade, and it's actually I don't think that the cabbage is doing that well, but it's definitely not bolting. Yeah, it's a bit dry on the outside. We should really harvest it. But yeah, the cabbage has not bolted because of the collard. That's really funny. But yeah, I'm definitely growing collards again next year. My wife makes an amazing bacon and collard dish. Super yummy. And they grow super well. So definitely, that's a good one. If you have a desert garden, if you are in Arizona or the Southwest, the collards definitely do very well. So I highly recommend it. Well, thanks so much for joining me, guys. One last thing before I go though, it's competition time. Our random selection gave me Garden of the Geeks as the winner. So Paul, please reach out to me, give me your address so that I can send you that mug. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave comments down below. I'd love to get your feedback, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.